People of the state of Michigan versus Tanea Nicole Tubbs. This matter is scheduled today for a pretrial. Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Rozak on behalf of the people, P78815.
Good morning, Judge Deanne Patillo, P82378 on behalf of Ms. Tanea Tubbs.
Ms. Tubbs, if you can state your name for the record, please.
Grand Rising. I asked the Holy Spirit to come in here and touch this courtroom today, and I welcome the Holy Spirit. I am Tanea Nicole Tubbs, the beneficiary.
Okay, and Ms. Patilla is being appointed as your standby counsel, Ms. Tubbs, all right?
No, sir, I did not ask for that, but if I'm being forced, then I'm being forced in direct coercion.
All right. Well, I'm not forcing you, but she's going to help in case you need anything. You don't ever have to use her, but if you want any questions on anything, she's there to help you, okay? You're gonna represent yourself, but if you have any questions, you can ask her, all right?
I hear you, sir.
All right. Do we have a jury trial date on this?
March 17th.
All right. We'll set this is set for jury trial on March 17th at 9 a.m. Ms. Tubbs, did you want to discuss settlement with the prosecutor, or do you just want to go ahead to jury trial?
I wanted to ask the prosecutor a few things, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Your Honor, one of the things I think that we put on the record last week when we were trying to establish whether Ms. Tubbs was going to represent herself, if we were going to relieve the prior defense counsel of his obligations and then also get standby counsel. And I think that today was more of an update just to make sure everything was in order, but knowing that the trial
and I have ruled that she can represent herself, haven't I?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And that's why the other counsel was relieved and
Right, okay.
Ms. Patillo was put on as standby.
All right.
With that, I think that we had mentioned the possibility of having Ms. Tubbs be brought over here so that we can have discussions. Ms. Patillo is standby. I feel comfortable speaking to Ms. Tubbs as long as there's somebody else there. Even if they're not fully representing her, at least there's a third person. And I wouldn't mind speaking to her in person, but I think it's going to be easier if she's here, and I don't necessarily want her to say something on Zoom in open court that might affect her case when she's representing herself.
All right. We can do this one of two ways. Either can put all of you in a breakout room and let the three of you discuss things, or we can bring her here.
I would ask Ms. Tubbs what she would like to do.
Ms. Tubbs, what do you want to do? Do you want to go into a breakout room with the standby counsel and your and the prosecutor, or would you like to come here physically to talk with them?
I can do standby counsel. I mean, I can do not stand.
Today's courtroom lineup is straight out of a legal comedy sketch. 3 sovereign citizens, 3 wildly different levels of delusion, and one very patient judge who's just trying to make it to lunch without losing his mind. But at the center of this circus is T. Nicole Tubbs, a self-proclaimed beneficiary of the account, who believes she's backed by the Holy Spirit in court. Now, that might sound dramatic. And that's because it absolutely is. Tubbs refuses legal counsel, calls herself a sovereign citizen, and claims divine representation. And by the time this hearing ends, even the judge is ready to hand things over to the higher powers she keeps talking.
Right, that's fine, Ms. Tubbs. So she apparently, will you be willing to have Ms. Patella in the room with you and the prosecutor?
Sir, I do not need her. Thank you.
All right.
I want somebody.
Yeah.
Regardless
so the
of who it
prosecutor
is.
says she does not feel comfortable talking directly with you without somebody else in the room. So
you're forcing me. You're forcing me. I'm not
forcing you to do anything. You know, you don't have to talk to me. We can just go ahead and have a jury trial. That's fine with me. So what the prosecutor is saying is if she wants to talk alone with you, that there has to be somebody else in the courtroom or in the room. So you tell me.
She can have her in the courtroom, but not on my behalf. It could be on her behalf since she's fearing what I have to say alone. I'm not understanding why.
Put the three of you in a breakout room to discuss things.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do you agree to that, Ms. Tubb?
I agree to speak with her with
Okay,
the third party on her side.
all right. And counsel, how long do you think we should put you in the breakout room for?
10 minutes to be safe.
10 minutes, and then you can have more time if you need it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take 5 minutes.
Okay.
It is the classic sovereign citizen opener, invoking divine authority before legal authority. The moment Tubbs says, "I ask the Holy Spirit to come into this courtroom," you can literally hear the prosecutor's soul leave her body. This isn't just eccentric. It's a strategy. Sovereign citizens often invoke religion, natural law, or even maritime law to derail proceedings or reject jurisdiction. But here's the catch. None of that holds up in an American courtroom. So when she calls herself the beneficiary, she's referencing a bizarre belief that every citizen has a secret government trust tied to their birth certificate. Spoiler alert, they don't. But the confidence?
Again, versus Tania Nicole Tubbs. This matter is scheduled today for a pretrial. Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elena Rozak on behalf of the people, P78815.
And good morning, Judge Deanne Patillo, P82378, stand-in counsel for Ms. Tania Tubbs.
All right, Ms. Tubbs, if you can unmute and state your name for the record, please.
For the record, I am Tanae Nicole Tubbs, the beneficiary of the account.
All right, Ms. Tubbs, you have a constitutional right to be physically present for this hearing. Do you agree to waive that right for today and hold this hearing by Zoom?
Correct.
Okay, all right, where are we at on Ms. Tubbs' case, Madam Prosecutor?
Your Honor, I did get some information from Ms. Tubbs and I did look up the, I know that the defendant is in Calhoun County Jail right now and that she has a sentencing date of March 24th, 2025. When is our trial date? The 17th?
March 17.
I'm guessing that Calhoun County would let her come here pending their sentence, since we have a trial date. I don't know how that all works because their case is a 2022 case, so it's definitely older. But either way, that's a problem for somebody else, I suppose. I think that Miss Tubbs needs to be brought over here and maybe we should have a pretrial before the trial once Miss Tubbs is here, where we're all in person. And Miss Tubbs can bring whatever documentation that she wishes to provide at that point. That way we all have it and we're all on the same page, because some of the things that she's referring to, I do not have. And I would say that we're likely going to have to proceed to trial.
All right. When are you proposing that we have this, bring her over beforehand? Obviously, the closer to the date for the court's purposes, the better, because we don't have to retain her as long from Calhoun. But if you think it would help to bring her earlier, we can do that too.
I think that approximately 2 weeks before, so that puts us in the March 3rd area. Sometime at the end of the week before or early the week of March 3rd.
I'm available the 6th, if that works for the court, prosecutor and Ms. Tubbs.
This is where it always starts unraveling. The judge, being reasonable, offers Tubbs a standby attorney, someone to help her navigate the law. And what does she say? If I'm being forced, then I'm being forced under threat, duress, and coercio. That line is practically the sovereign citizen national anthem. Every time they reject legal help, they turn it into a declaration of oppression, as if the court is violating their cosmic rights. But here's the twist. By refusing counsel, Tubbs Actua, Ellie makes her case weaker. Because the second she misquotes a statute or brings up the Holy Spirit Bar Association, there's no one to stop her from self-destructing.
All right, why don't we schedule this to have her brought over here for March the 6th, and we'll have the hearing at 11:30. Is that time okay for you, Attorney Patella?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set this for March 6th at 11:30. Hey, May, can you send a writ to have her brought from Calhoun County here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, go right ahead, man, Ms. Tubbs.
I am looking forward to being out of here before then. And, it is my duty to come there on my own as a freeborn sovereign, to this. I do not need to be detained or retained. I am not an entity or subject to any entity. And I gave this paperwork to the 36th district, and I'm not gonna be able to get this paperwork if I don't be able to walk and go get it, go home and print it out myself, because I have none but 8 children. I am by myself. I don't have support. I just have myself and my 8 children, which my oldest just
Listen to this exchange closely. The prosecutor politely suggests a private breakout room, and Tubbs immediately jumps to, she's afraid of what I have to say. This level of paranoia is textbook in sovereign cases. They see any procedural step, even something mundane like a breakout room, as part of a grand conspiracy. To them, every legal courtesy hides a secret attack on their sovereignty. And when the court explains confidentiality is to protect her, not silence her, she doesn't buy it. Because when you're convinced the government is secretly a corporation, due process looks like deception.
So when you see the invitation to join, please join.
Magistrate, Mr. Myrick declined counsel.
Okay,
I'll just have him acknowledge on the record, and then I'll let you take it from there.
we've got Mr. Myrick coming back. We'll close the room.
I get the impression that he may be filing a special appearance on behalf of a sovereign citizen.
Okay, we've got Mr. Myrick back. This is 25-00183. People of the City of Berkeley versus Kamash Daku Myrick.
Magistrate, I'm just going to acknowledge my presence for the record. Patrick Gagnick. I'm here as appointed counsel on behalf of the arraignment docket this morning. I did speak to Mr. Myrick in private. I did explain to him he does have the right to counsel. I explained to him, obviously, that right. He's indicated to me unequivocally that he does not want counsel. Mr. Myrick, is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
So with that said, I'm here and present, but with that, I believe Mr. Myrick will address the court on his own behalf.
Mr. Myrick, you have the right to decline counsel. You also have the right to change your mind. If you do, just notify the court.
Yes, sir.
You've been charged in this citation that was issued on the 22nd day of January at about 5:58 in the morning with driving in the city of Berkeley on Henley near Franklin Street while your license to do so was suspended. Driving on a suspended license is a crime for which you could be incarcerated up to 93 days and or fined $500. You have a right to a trial. Trial can be before a judge or a jury. You can act as your own attorney or you can be represented by counsel. If you cannot afford to retain your own attorney, an attorney can be appointed for you. You'd have the right to confront and cross-examine.
The highlight of the entire hearing. Tubbs confidently announces she's not working alone because the Holy Spirit is her co-counsel. Now that line alone could make a judge quit law entirely. But the judge stays composed, even quoting the old adage, "He who represents himself has a fool for a client." And then, the YouTuber commentary drops a truth bomb. The Holy Spirit won't defend you in court. It's blunt, it's savage, and it's true. Because while faith can be personal strength, it's not a valid legal defense. The court runs on statutes, not